Just follow the story. It's a fun one.
There once was a colt who was raised by goats. He struggled at first on the snow, the rocks, and the rivers. Then he became strong, capable of handling any terrain. And the colt became a bronco. With 7 available goat modes that adapt the vehicle to go over any type of terrain, this is the all-new Bronco Sport.
Okay, isn't that great? You would never guess all of that. So let me get this straight. There was a horse that was raised by goats that became a car, and it's really going to be good for you. I can't help but laugh. My style consultant says you shouldn't laugh so much. Well, you can see in some of these moments why Karl Marx thought advertising was of no value whatsoever. And communism does not like advertising. But communism has never created a car worth driving, and that I get from the Top Gear show. And they have a wonderful, and if you want to have some fun, write me and I will send you the YouTube link, or go on YouTube and type Top Gear communist cars or something. It'll come up, and it is hilarious, a hilarious show. And as I always mention, we pitched the Yugo dealership in Milwaukee when I was at the ad agency, and I drove it back across town. This was the only account we didn't win, but part of it was because I adjusted the rearview mirror and it came off in my hand. And the gas cap fell off, and a couple other things. Just driving it from downtown Milwaukee out to Waukesha. A couple of things. Brand new car fell right apart, and we decided we did not want to be associated with the Yugo. That was the only pitch we didn't win, and it's because we didn't want a client. So anyway, you can take that for what it's worth, and maybe we should just edit this part out. But it was funny. I thought it was funny. And we'll be doing some Super Bowl run-up commercials where we can. And as you know, we do, along with Christmas ads, the Super Bowl ads are my favorite thing in the world to start the show with. But that said, let's get to the real news. Okay, get to the real news. Why restaurants should implement QR codes now. They should have moved this up into the headline. Why restaurants should implement QR codes or die. Not only, and the article goes on, you know how much I love QR codes, but this wasn't my favorite article. David Lichtman, mostly because there's a tension between automation and service. I have to tell you, I remember going to the automats, I think they were called, in New York City as a kid. We visited New York City when I was about, I'm not a kid, maybe I was 15 or something. No, I think we went there when I was 12. Okay, and we went to the automat because my dad thought it was so cool. And you go into this kind of a restaurant building, and there was a wall of stuff in like locked boxes, glass. And you put in a couple of quarters or something, and you open the little door, and out comes the meal, whatever it was. Could be a piece of pie, could be a bowl of soup, whatever it was. And then somebody put another one in the back. We kind of liked, as kids, that a new one came in as soon as you pulled one out. That was kind of the cool part. But for some reason, they've gone out of phase. That would be a great solution, especially if you didn't have people behind there, pushing them in there. I'm not saying you shouldn't have people in the place. I'm saying that, you could put the items, like on a conveyor so nobody could see the people, and it would just come and right into the slot, and it would look so safe. This is kind of where David's going. Safer restaurant practices. And he's basically claiming that the restaurants who use QR codes with payment will need less order taking, ultimately leading to less face-to-face communication and lower risk of being exposed to the virus. In this case, less is more, less expense, more profits. Yeah. Less service, I highlighted less service. less interaction. I mean, we had dinner on Sunday at a little restaurant, a little Cajun restaurant. It was just wonderful, and Silver was the name of our server. Silver. What a cool name, right, for a girl? I liked it. Anyway, I'm the kind of old guy that remembers the name of my server. You know, I went out to lunch in Beloit, Wisconsin last week, Wednesday, and the server's name was Mariah. Another cool name, don't you think? So maybe we're raising a generation that doesn't care about talking with a server. You know, she made some excellent recommendations. We had a wonderful time, just a super wonderful time. Both of them were great. I remember Sophia at the Red Lobster. I talk with the CEO every now and then, and I mentioned Sophia and what a great level of service she gave us. Red Lobster, I don't think much about Red Lobster, but we had our Christmas party there because we fast, we go vegan, but we can eat shellfish. So I'm trying to talk Kim into pitching the Orthodox Church as a viable market of 3 to 6 million people. That's the kind of market you want. It's not this one-to-one thing. You want a market that's millions of people that are all interested in eating shellfish at a certain period of the year. Lent's coming up. I'm trying to get him to do something for Lent. Give me a buy one get one or something for shellfish, and I'll be there. I'll probably be there twice a week. Anyway, Sophia was great. So yeah, the QR codes. Why even have servers? You know, maybe you can have a robot. We did a show a couple days ago about dancing robots. You can have one of those robots come in, just dump the food in front of you, you know, or go in with your QR codes to the automat, and you never have to talk to anybody. And that's the plan for the new normal. You know, that's not normal. We're herd animals. We like to get together. We like to talk. We like to have a meal. And we don't mind talking to the server. You know, David, that's not a normal I'm looking forward to. Okay, here's another one. Here's another great article. I hope you're enjoying this. Give me some thumbs up if you agree. And if you don't agree, make a comment. Say that I am all for bots. Okay, this is how AI, really bots. It's not artificial intelligence, it's programming. How can AI help retailers thrive? Okay, and where we start with is the majority of customers are amenable to chatbot-based support. I was just on a chatbot, you know, and I'm asking about a new streaming channel since Periscope is going away. And I search for that, there's nothing. I go into the help section, there's nothing. I go into their customer forum, there's nothing. And so now I'm on with the bots. And if you're out there, bots, they may be listening in because it's the Restream.io, a great actual. I really like the company. And they're people. They actually have people, but they have bots too. A kind of an interface for that. That's okay too. But, you know, rarely do they have an answer to the question I'm asking because I've already looked for the question. I've already looked for the answer. I am capable of that. But according to this article, chatbot-based supports, 76% find it to either be satisfactory or excellent without compromising the quality. You can save money without any compromise to the quality. Think about the first article I covered. Machine learning-based customer support has been found to be received quite differently depending on the age of the customer. Now, I think it's interesting that they're saying it's because of age. I'm the old guy. Yesterday, one of my kids said, "Oh, Dad, you can't think about what you like. Think about what, you know, the world isn't like you." And I know that. I mean, hardly anyone has a well-tailored beard like this. White beard. Okay, so nearly half the customers aged 65 and over complained that their issue wasn't resolved in a timely manner. Now, I thought about this. You think I just read these articles and I don't think about them? I think about them. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because when I was a little kid, we'd get up with the sun and we go ride our bikes and we go to the gravel pit and we'd light off fireworks that we made in our basement. And we weren't allowed to climb the cliff, and we weren't allowed to climb on top of the cliff because it was a good 60 or 70-foot cliff. But we built our own treehouse from scraps of lumber that were laying around, and we built a tree fort at the gravel pit, and we used to hang out there. You know, we'd go out on the lake. I had my first motorboat when I was 6 years old, a 1.5 horse, and my mom would send me to the grocery store. You imagine giving a 6-year-old their own boat? Go wherever you want. Just stay out of the house. Go outside and play, right? Okay. So when we were, here's a couple of bucks, go to the grocery store. That grocery store was like 1.5 miles across the water. I still can't believe it. I've raised 4 kids. We didn't do anything like that with them. No. You got to be safe. You might get abducted or something. Who knows what happens? Anyway, so the people my age are used to figuring it out. We're used to going and looking for the answer because we grew up in a day where you looked up people's phone numbers. You went to the library, for heaven's sakes. My kids call me their own Google because I know the answer. But here's the kind of questions my kids ask, Alexa, what time is it? That's where the millennials, they're coming to the bots and saying, what site am I on or something? And the bot knows that answer. The kind of questions I ask bots, they don't know the answer. I just went on a bot, it didn't know the answer. I looked all over their site looking for whether they can stream to a couple of other more emerging sites, and they don't have any, it doesn't come up at all. So I want to get to the person. So most consumers trust an AI tool's recommendations. I do not. And it's not because I don't love machine learning. I'm a pioneer in machine learning. And here's why. Machine-based solutions are only as good as the data you provide, the algorithm. It's important to periodically check the results of your algorithm to ensure accuracy. Yeah, I know. Do I know? Yeah. I ask hard questions. If I didn't have a hard question, I wouldn't want to be asking it. That's the way millennials aren't. Now, let's go over an excellent article. I'm glad you stayed with me. I'm sorry I went so long. Direct mail will supercharge marketing in 2021. This is in Forbes magazine by invitation only. Joy Gendusa, who I really would like to connect with, if any of you know her, she does some great work. This is great. This is Postcard Mania founder. Postcard Mania, and you just go to their site. It's full of case studies. Why isn't everybody full of case studies? I'll tell you why. Partly because we're selling mail. Why don't you try mail? Why don't you mail something? And then, when it doesn't do what we expect, we don't follow up, and they're vaccinated. And the next time somebody comes in from a print company and says, we could help you do direct mail, they go, oh, I tried that. Right? That's the big mistake. Joy sells mail by focusing on the case study. Let's generate a case study. Let's work together. Let's grow your business. And then I hope you don't mind if we share the story. That's the way to move the needle. It's not about getting people to try mail. Put something in the mailbox. Take that TV commercial and fold it up on paper and see if it's effective. It's not going to be effective. I'm pretty sure that Bronco ad would not be that effective in actually selling Broncos if you just did it as a mailer. I don't know how you do it. I mean, no, that's not a But there are things you can do to sell lots of cars. Okay? Like if they visit your showroom, if they visit your website, send them a mailer. Remind them of what they were looking at. Okay, you may believe that direct mail is an antiquated marketing tactic. How could paper ever outperform digital tactics? But before I get into how this old school marketing tool got an automated facelift, consider direct mail's efficacy alone and why marketers, including tech giants like Google, still use it. Yeah? 81% of people reported they look forward to checking the mail. I sure do. 2/3 of customers collect their mail every day. The neuroscience behind response-driven power of mail shows that direct mail message is more persuasive and easier for our brains to process than digital. Because, the websites change their format every day. They design it to be difficult to understand. Now you can have triggers, not just online, but offline with mail. A website visitor fills out a form, says, send me a catalog. We've always done that. But now you can maybe look up their IP address. Now you have to have a couple of 100,000 people visiting in a timely window. Or a website visitor abandons their online shopping cart. You think an email's going to get through on that? Nah. They ignore their email. And that's one of the best, to actually focus on what they abandoned, right? Send them a postcard. We can get it there in the next 2 days. Heck, I do this all the time. I put stuff in the shopping cart, and then I go back there, and there's nothing in it. They purged it. Oh, that's really stupid. Because with Land's End, I wait till the catalog comes. Land's End. I wait till the catalog comes, and then I get a sale. Now that's probably cannibalization, and we should talk about that someday. But hey, at least it triggers me to order, and not from somebody else. New movers. You can get that from USPS. You can get that a bunch of places. Homeowners whose policies are up for renewal. Birthday coupons. Holiday cards. Put the holiday cards. I put that in. Again, if you subscribe to the WDMA, it's free. Go to WDMA.org. And I see some people are. You will get my marked up versions, and you can send them to your clients, and that's pretty good. Customer thank you mailings, reactivation mailings. But here's the best part. We'll skip down. Here's the best part. This is a great article. Here's the best part. I'd recommend setting up a connection with a direct mail company directly. Not just a software as a service marketing platform that provides automation and relies on someone else to do the printing. Printing is complicated. Printing is in the real world, and if you mess it up, it's messed up. I've messed up plenty. What you're really buying is somebody who's made enough mistakes to know better. Somebody who watches what they're doing. So don't go to a company like Uber or Airbnb where they don't own anything and you only connect with the people who do. Connect with people. Joy, I love this article. Too many businesses get burned by low-quality printing, low-response campaigns. And don't assume that just because you want your mailing to look good, that the most expensive UV coating, and if you don't know what that is, again, call me, or something, spot varnish, or, really, really beautiful 4-color. Don't assume that's going to bring in more business than a really schlocky looking ground wood postcard. Because I've tested them head to head, and I'm beating the glossy over and over and over. It's not always what you think, okay? So not only do you get burned by low-quality printing, I got a printer following me yesterday, and on their website, they claim to be direct marketing consultants. Now, I've been one for 40 years, and, I'm sure they know a lot, but you can always learn more. Jordan Peterson, I watched him yesterday. He said, either you fall in love with what you know already, or you fall in love with what you don't. I don't know more than I know. And always love learning. But find somebody who's made enough mistakes. And we just got another printer joining yesterday. Congratulations on that. And they don't even do much mail. They just liked what we were doing to support selling printing. But anyway, so select a direct mail company. Select somebody who knows something. And if you don't know anything, call a WDMA. My number's up there on LinkedIn. It's probably on the site. Send me a message. The best thing about triggers is you can set them and forget them. I don't quite agree with that on Joy. It's always best, as the bot guy said, to test it. Test it yourself. See what happens. Retargeting by mail. We've got a great case study on that. This stuff is powerful. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Have a great day.